Microsoft Indonesia has launched a digital platform called GenerasiBisa. The program was supported by the Indonesian Ministry of Manpower and the National Development Planning Board, or Bappenas.
GenerasiBisa digital platform was designed to provide Indonesian young generations with knowledge, self-esteem, and readiness to achieve their career goals. The platform contains a number of features, starting from courses, programs, and job lists to articles on career development. Minister of Manpower Hanif Dakiri says that overall, the number of Indonesian young job seekers are still high, ranging between 15 to 24 years old. Dakiri emphasizes that it shows the great potential that the country has to improve its competitiveness, especially for the vocational school graduates.
Indonesia has a big challenge to eradicate poverty, social inequality, and also unemployment. And one of the breakthroughs that we can develop is using vocational approach to make sure that the level of competency of the youth improving. And with this launching, we actually combine the endorsement for youth people to get into training and also into labor market.
Veronica Kolendam of YCAP Foundation explains that the platform does not only provide the youngsters with information on career opportunities, but also on education background and skills needed. YCAP is one of partners of the program.
You gotta start really early, from how to shake hands at interview, how to create bio before that. Then I think this platform will give them that opportunity to learn, so as a knowledge base, and also network what jobs is available for me and with my ability pretty much, and how can I actually through courses, the feature of courses, improve myself.
GenerasiBisa digital platform was established as part of Empowered, a program initiated by Microsoft to create jobs and improving the implementation of the information technology in Southeast Asia. The initiative has been successfully welcomed in Thailand and later will also be applied in Malaysia, Vietnam, and the Philippines.
The rise of cloud computing and easy access to online services and information is giving rise to a new way of working. The digital platform, GenerasiBisa, is available to help upscale youth to prepare for employment by providing training, mentoring, and future jobs. MNC World News, Karina Tasha sat down with the Dr. Astrid Tumines, Regional Director, Southeast Asia for SILA Microsoft, to talk more.
Could you explain to us what GenerasiBisa is?
Yes, GenerasiBisa is a platform that was just launched today. It's a collaboration between a non-profit, Yayasan Cinta Anak Bangsa, Microsoft, and also the Ministry of Manpower. And the purpose of this platform is to help upskill youth so that they are prepared for employment. As you may know, there is a pretty serious unemployment problem among youth, especially ages 15 to 24. And this is a very large demographic in Indonesia. 1/3 of the Indonesian workforce is actually between the ages of 15 to 29. And it is at this stage where people need to start careers, get good employment, be trained so they could move on. So the platform right now has 3 components to it. The first component is online training in areas such as entrepreneurship, technology, and job readiness. In addition to the online training, the second component is jobs, networking and jobs. So our partners are actually employers, and they can post jobs on the site and also just publicize their events and what they need and so on. And the third component of GenerasiBisa is mentoring. What we know today is that online training and courses are not enough. You need face-to-face mentoring so that soft skills can also be developed. And those soft skills have to do with communication, confidence, and so on. We have partnered this with the Ministry of Manpower because the ministry has its own training programs. And so we are hoping to put their training programs on the platform as well so that it can reach a lot of people in Indonesia, a lot of youth in particular.
How do you see the development of the digital workforce, though, right now here in Indonesia?
I think in Indonesia there's good news and bad news. The good news may be that, I think over 50% of the population here have access to the internet and do use the internet primarily through mobile devices. So that's good news that people have some exposure to digital skills. They know what content is online and so on. I think the bad news is that consumption of the internet does not mean work. You could waste all day surfing the internet, playing games, Facebooking, correct. So social media can be very, very addictive.
It has a really high consumption of internet usage.
Correct. What you need to do is be able to transform digital literacy and exposure to the internet to something productive.
Something positive.
What does that mean? So a small or medium-sized entrepreneur can build a website, for example. We know that just building a website can improve a business right away and its visibility to a larger audience. You could also teach children coding because coding now is the language of the 21st century. Whatever job you have as a teacher, lawyer, healthcare, if you know how to code, you can actually develop solutions. And I would also mention quickly cloud computing. We live in the age of cloud and mobile. What that means today is that you have these giant data centers around the world that anybody can use. Anyone with a mobile device or a tablet or a desktop has incredible, massive computing power in their hands. And you could use that massive computing power to launch a business, to teach yourself physics, to teach yourself English, to, as a government, you could use public cloud in order to provide better services to your citizens. So in other words, all of these digital developments can be deployed for more productive uses in Indonesia. And in order to do that, you do need to educate people better as to what they can do with technology.
You mentioned about the benefits of digital workforce right now is needed for the economy as well, but is there any adverse effect of digital workforce? Let's say maybe a declining market in manufacturing jobs or a break in structural organizations?
So the disadvantage is, yes, some people will lose their jobs, some industries will disappear entirely, but the good news is that we know with every revolution, with every industrial revolution, and today we live in the fourth industrial revolution, which is digital, where new capabilities will evolve for people and for machines. This is also an opportunity where new industries and new ways of doing things will come up. So for example, genomics-based medicine is new. Digital healthcare, where a doctor sitting in Jakarta may diagnose somebody sitting in Bandung or somewhere farther away. How do we think of these new applications of technology? You can offer education online or training online. And what do we do so that we create value? And what do we do so that the people who are losing out can be retrained and retooled and upskilled? Because if we don't do that, millions will be left behind. Another really important thing is for government to think about giving digital access to all citizens. It is not fair if only citizens in the big city can access the internet, for example, and find out about jobs and the news and what the government is offering as services. It's really not fair, or be able to bank online. We need to make sure that more and more citizens really have access to the internet. So how do we make the internet more affordable and more accessible?